I'm going to be breaking down the exact 4-step process you can use to find a coaching niche that not only aligns with your strengths and passions, but also brings in a minimum of $10,000 per month. My name is Jay, and I've built a multi-million-dollar consulting business, launched multiple successful e-commerce brands, and helped dozens of coaches go from I don't know my niche to dominating in the coaching space. But before I became a coach, I struggled for years to find the right niche for myself. I constantly bounced around from one business to the next, and while I was monetarily successful, I was completely miserable in each of the businesses I had built. I just kept thinking each new business venture was going to be the one, but later on realized that I was always in it for the wrong reasons, which was just to make money. It wasn't until I found the simple frameworks I'm about to share with you today that I was able to go from being a miserable millionaire to becoming a digital nomad, moving to Bali, building a profitable business I'm actually passionate about, and waking up every day doing what I love. Now, when it comes to finding your niche, there are 4 foundational things that you want to consider before choosing one. I'm going to be covering each one of those in detail, but before I do, I've also created a free mini course to help you further narrow down on your niche, as well as a list of 200 proven profitable coaching niches for you to choose from. You can download each of those in my free school community. All you have to do is subscribe to my newsletter and you will get immediate access to the community. So the very first step in finding your niche is starting with passion. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me on this point, but in my personal opinion, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then it's not worth doing at all. The reason I hated so many other business ventures that I started was simply because I was only in it for the money, and money wasn't a good enough motivator for me to want to push through all of the inevitable struggles and pain that you are going to go through as an entrepreneur when you're starting a business. But when you have a strong why behind what you're doing, you become unstoppable. You're willing to break through any barrier necessary to achieve your goals, and that's how I want you to think about your business. So first, write down a list of all of the things that you're most passionate about in life, and that's where we're going to start. But passion alone is not enough to build a profitable coaching business from, so the next step that we're going to consider are your skills. We want to determine what high value skills you currently have, and in order to do that, there's a few questions I want you to ask yourself. What high value skills have you already acquired throughout your life? Now, of course, this could also be skills that you're currently using in your 9-to-5 job right now. Question number 2, what are your top strengths? If you need help figuring this out, you can use the website 16personalities.com to find out exactly which niches would be best for your specific personality type, as well as what your top strengths are and things that you can use to leverage in your business. Now, once you've answered these questions, you can write down the full list of your top high value skills and your strengths in one compiled list. And if you genuinely don't feel like you have any high value skills, then you can simply just write down a list of the high value skills that you would be willing to learn in this step. Now, once you figured out what your skills and strengths are, we need to figure out what problems you can solve using them. So step number 3 is problems. What problems have you solved for either yourself or for other people? This step is extremely important because it sets the stage for credibility within your business. The niche that you choose needs to be strongly positioned within a problem you've either solved for yourself or solved for other people and have the proof to back it up. And finally, step number 4 is profits. Now, this is the most important step that you need to consider when choosing a niche because the entire success of your business relies on it. Would people actually pay for the solutions and problems that your skills can solve? And you want to be really honest with yourself about this question. Put yourself in a potential client's shoes. If you had their specific problem, would it be important enough for you to pay for to have someone else solve it for you, or at least help you in figuring out how to solve it for yourself? And if the answer to this question is yes, then this is a good business opportunity for you to move forward with. All right, so now that you've answered all of the questions in the previous steps, now we want to turn your passions, skills, and problems that you can solve that people would actually pay for and tie them together to find your niche. Now, to do this, I'm going to show you some real world examples of my clients along with their answers in the niche that they chose. This should help you visually understand how to tie these concepts together and find something that truly aligns with you and your skills. Now, for client number 1, the passions that she chose were spirituality, fitness, vegan cooking, nutrition, and women's empowerment. The skills that she listed were project management, strategic thinking, vegan cooking, and personal training. The problems that she had listed as solving either for herself or others were weight loss for herself and also curing herself from incurable disease through nutrition. And for profits, she realized that people would actually pay for help with nutrition and help with weight loss. And the niche that she ultimately chose was a whole body wellness coach with an emphasis on spirituality because that's deeply ingrained inside of who she is as an individual. Now, for client number 2, the passions that he listed were self-development, personal finance, mindset, productivity, productivity, and leadership. His primary skills were communication, teaching, time management, and financial planning. Problems that he had solved for himself or others were overcoming procrastination, getting himself out of substantial financial debt, and developing a growth mindset that drastically helped him advance in his career. Now, the problems that people would actually pay for were productivity and accountability coaching, financial coaching to get out of debt, or personal development or mindset coaching for personal and professional growth. And the niche he eventually chose was personal finance and productivity coaching for ambitious professionals. So hopefully these examples will show you exactly how you can turn the list that you've written out into a profitable coaching niche. Now, if you're looking for the safest choices that are always going to be in high demand, I would choose something in the health, wealth, or relationships categories. Of course, you can always choose something outside of those categories, but you want to make sure that the outcomes you provide for your clients are as tangible as possible. Trust me when I say this will save you a lot of time and wasted energy on trying to market a solution that just isn't something potential clients would pay for. Now, if you're someone that is truly interested in growing your coaching business and becoming profitable as quickly as possible, you might be interested in joining my 5-day Build Your Coaching Business Challenge that's coming up in the next couple weeks. In just 5 days, I'm going to be helping you find your niche, build the foundation of your coaching business, and be on the way to getting your first paid coaching client. But because I'm going to be working so closely with every single person inside of the challenge, I'm only allowing 15 people to join. So if you're truly interested in fast tracking your success, go ahead and use the link in the description to book in a quick call with me just to make sure you're a good fit for the challenge, and we will get you signed up. Now, just as a disclaimer, not everyone will be accepted into the challenge, but once I have 15 signups, I will be closing the doors. So I would highly suggest signing up as soon as possible if you're interested before the seats fill up. All right, so now that you've made it to this point, you've already chosen a niche for yourself. But how do you know that that niche is going to be successful just because you picked it? Well, I built out a framework to specifically help you figure out if your niche is going to be successful or not, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So the niche that you've chosen needs to be run through the Massive Profits framework, and there are 4 specific requirements in order to prove that your niche is going to be successful. Now, the first step in the Massive Profits framework is unresolved pain. Does the target market that you are addressing either have a problem that has not been solved by others, or a problem that you think you can solve more effectively than other people? Number 2 is a growing market. Is the market you are targeting one that's growing or one that has the possibility of shrinking over time? Number 3 is income. Are the clients that you're targeting highly likely to be able to pay for high ticket coaching? For instance, you wouldn't want to target an audience like college kids because they're not likely to have the funds to pay for high ticket coaching. Number 4 is easy to locate. You want to consider whether or not your target audience is easy to find either locally or on social media. So whether or not they congregate in specific groups on social media like Facebook or through other marketing channels like Instagram, YouTube, are the people that you're trying to target easy enough to find? Now, if the niche that you've chosen meets all of these requirements, then you know that you are highly likely to be successful within that niche, especially after you subscribe to this channel. So now that you have chosen and validated your niche, the final step that I would recommend taking before you go all in on this business venture is actually testing that niche out. So find some of your competitors on the internet, search for them on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and start creating content within that niche just to make sure that this is something you're actually going to be happy with doing long term, because a lot of people start businesses thinking that they'll like something only to discover that it's not actually what they expected once they jump in. So I want to save you that pain and recommend that you do this for at least 1 to 2 weeks just to make sure that this is a niche that you're comfortable in, and then you can move forward and go out there and try to start getting some clients. Otherwise, congratulations, you are a part of the 1% that actually finished this video and put in the work to find their niche. Now, don't forget to sign up for the 5-day Build Your Coaching Business Challenge, and I will see you in the next one.